My peoples, Amanda Serrano, Reina Tellez gave us a war yesterday. A left to the mouthpiece, a right to the cornrows. They was going at it. Y'all already know what it is. Box Center, boxing for breakfast. It's about to kick off in a few minutes. Stay tuned, my peoples. Yeah. My peoples, my peoples. Welcome to another episode of Boxing for Breakfast, where you get your healthy dosage of sweet science early in the morning. It's Sunday, special edition episode of Boxing for Breakfast. Salute to everybody tuning in. Y'all already know what this is. I'm Jay Smith, and we talking boxing, my peoples. Good morning, everybody. What's the deal? I see you guys already in the building side. What's the deal, Toy Mafia? In the building. What's the deal? Elio, what's up, my guy? Eye for eye. Salute. Two left hooks in the building. Good morning, family. Check it, fellas. Check it. Let's kick this thing off right away, man. What a fight between Amanda Serrano and Reina Tellez. Whoa. What a main event, my peoples. That's why I try to tell everybody, you need to support women's boxing, because this is not the old days where women was just, throwing haymakers at each other. You've seen in 2025, and not now, but you've been seeing it. Women got the skills to pay the bills. They got the mechanics, they got the footwork, they got the counter punching, they got all the things required to give us a great boxing match. And that's what we got yesterday. Amanda Serrano, Reina Tellez went to war. 10 rounds, action-packed. Serrano was her usual self. Y'all seen it. Applying that pressure. Going forward, putting all type of hands on Tellez. But Tellez kept fighting back. And in the beginning of the fight, I said, you know what? Tellez don't look like she's in as good a shape as Amanda Serrano. I felt like, is she going to be able to go the distance? Because if she slows down, Amanda Serrano is going to stop her, right? From early on, you saw both of these ladies letting their hands fly. Amanda Serrano was landing brutal body shots, brutal head shots, but Tellez kept catching her with that left hook to the face, left hook to the eye. So by the time they got to the mid-rounds, you saw the wear and tear in Amanda's face, but you also saw it in Tellez. They kept exchanging. Only thing is, Serrano was consistently landing more punches. But I want to give credit to Reina Tellez, and I'm going to tell you why. Serrano kept applying pressure the entire fight, kept going forward, kept throwing punches, right? What Tellez did good in this fight that made it so competitive, number one, the footwork. She never stood in front of Amanda Serrano for too long. So whenever she took punishment, she moved. If she didn't use that lateral movement, she would have got stopped. It would have been a stoppage. But she was smart with that. Took a couple of punches. Okay, pop, pop. Right away, you see her going to the left, going to the right. Did a very good job with that. Another thing that she was consistent with throughout the fight was that check left hook. You will see Amanda Serrano shoot the jab. You guys know that she's a southpaw, so it's with the right hand. And Tellez was successful a lot of times with that check hook right over the jab. Boom! And you'll see it a lot. Serrano goes in with the jab. Tellez goes over it with the left hook. And ultimately, you saw Amanda Serrano's right eye almost swollen shut by the end of the fight. That's the type of fight that this was. That you could see the wear and tear in both ladies' faces. Because Tellez, you see the cut that she had under the eye. She was cut. So, women's boxing, my peoples, you got to give it to them. Got to give it to them. And, of course, this fight was promoted by Jake Paul. This was a great fight for women's boxing. And I got to say, too, during the fight, I mentioned it multiple times. Look, Tellez She don't look like she's in as good a shape as Serrano. And you kind of saw her punch output decrease just a little bit in the later rounds. But then I found out something that I was not aware of. Tellez took this fight on 2 weeks' notice. Whoa. Whoa, my peoples. If you watched it, she went the distance with one of the greatest female boxers of this and any era. She went the distance, and she was competitive. She got beat, and I said it because after the fight, Reina Tellez was crying, right? Because she knew she lost. And I said, look, man, this young lady needs to be proud of herself because, and I didn't know that she only had a 2-week training camp for this fight. But I said she needs to be proud of herself because she really, put together a good competitive fight against one of the best in the game. One of the best in the game when you talk about Amanda Serrano. And Reina Tellez was there, was fighting back throughout the entire fight. There was never a moment where you say, okay, she's not fighting back, she's just trying to survive. Tellez took a lot of punishment because she was out there trying to win this fight. And that's what happened. When you trade leather, when you exchange with somebody of Amanda Serrano's caliber, you're going to eat some nasty shots. But she was all for the smoke, my peoples. You got to respect her. Got to do it. And Serrano, I thought that, I don't know why, did I think she was going to retire maybe after this fight? I don't know where. Did I hear or see that or read it somewhere? But I already see they're asking, what's next? Who's next for her? So let's see, my peoples, because Amanda Serrano, she's an icon. She's one of the best to ever do it in female boxing. But I'm going to say this now to you guys, and this is the first time that I express this opinion, right? You guys get it first. Honestly, I think that Amanda Serrano should consider retiring. And I'm going to tell you why. Her style of fighting is exciting and super fun to watch. Yes, sir. Yesterday we enjoyed it. But Serrano has been in a lot of wars. We've seen her face swell up a lot of times. So when you have a fighter who is very accomplished, made a lot of money, she was the first, if I'm not, well, I don't know about that because I know Clarissa Shield made more than $1 million too, but I know Amanda Serrano's made $1 million purse, has made millions of dollars, is doing good financially, and I think she got other things going on as well. So I think this is a good time for her to consider retirement just so that she can take care of her health. Because her style of fighting, she take a lot of punishment too. If you're going to go in there on the inside and apply pressure and put hands on people, you're going to have people fighting back. You're going to eat some shots too. And look, to Tellez's credit, no matter how much punishment she was taking, she never stopped dishing that left hook. Never stopped putting it out there. And Serrano got hit with it, but that's what makes her a warrior. You know who I compared Amanda Serrano to yesterday? Evander Holyfield. Like the mindset of, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to put the beats on you. I'm going to keep coming forward. I'm going to keep putting hands on you. I'm not saying her style is the same as Holyfield. We're talking about a heavyweight. But Serrano can fight just like Holyfield. She's technical, got power. And come on now. She walked out of there with a great win. She's a world champion. But it's like I said, man, she takes a lot of punishment in her fights. We've seen Serrano cut and swollen many times. And this fight wasn't the exception. Her right eye was almost swollen shut. So for that reason, because she's been in so many wars and she has so many fights, over, 44, 46 fights, I think that Amanda Serrano should consider retirement. I don't want to see her end up, a lot of money, but you punch drunk, you're not talking right, or more damage that could end up happening. So I think she should consider, Amanda Serrano has had a great career, has accomplished a lot. One of the most accomplished female fighters, active and ever. So that's my take, my peoples. But if she not trying to go nowhere, if she's gonna keep fighting, I support her. I support her. She's gonna. It's just like Manny Pacquiao. A lot of us feel like Manny Pacquiao shouldn't be fighting, but I respect it. If Manny Pacquiao wants to fight again, I respect it, and I hope he doesn't get hurt. Serrano, the same deal. She chooses to keep fighting and is going to do 3, 4, 5, I don't know how many more fights. I respect it and I support her. But, man, it's not easy. People don't understand the process of recovering after you've been through that many fights. Serrano's going to be recovering for the next few days. And trust me, headaches, pain, body aches, the side of the face, feeling hurt. Trust me, it's a process. I've been through it. I know what that is. I think Amanda got robbed her last fight. No, not her last fight. Not her last. Maybe in the first fight with Katie Taylor, you may have felt that way, but not the second one, bro. Oh no, wait a minute. Who she fought? Well, who she fought last? Aroma Sound. Every recent Serrano fight I've seen, her face look like she's been the one who lost, even when she won. And that's what I'm saying, my guy. Amanda Serrano, she's a great fighter. Don't get it twisted. But as she's getting to this later stage in her career, there's less head movement, there's less dodging punches, and she's taking a lot more punishment. So she walked out of there with the W, and she's been doing that. But how much punishment are you going to take in boxing? And if you're doing good financially, how much more do you want? Because I think, I'm not saying that about Serrano, but I think that's the problem with some people, not just in sports, in anywhere where you make a lot of money. They don't know when it's time to say, okay, I'm good. I want more, I want more, I want more. There's people that are like that. You see, there's two different kinds of people when it comes to money. There's the people that just want more, 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 more forever, and they're always going to want more. And then there's the people that know how to say, yo, I'm good. You could take that. Everything else that's coming after, take that. All of y'all, take it. I'm good. So that just depends what type of mindset you have. I'll give you an example. Vasyl Lomachenko, he's the type to say, I'm good. My money's good. I'm wealthy. I'm straight. I don't need no more. Andre Ward, I'm good, my peoples. I make good money. I could retire good. I don't need them. I'm straight. So there's people who've made enough money to say, yo, I'm going to live out the rest of my life. I don't need 50 million or 20 or 10 or 100 or whatever it is. Everybody, because that's the thing. Fans assume that everybody want to do that. $90 million and 50 and nah. Look, you know the type of payday Vasyl Lomachenko would have got if he fought Tank Davis? He retired. He retired, my peoples. You think if Lomachenko was broke, he was going to retire and not fight Tank Davis? And not make those millions of dollars? But he got money. He good. He don't need to fight for no 20 million, 30 million, 10, whatever it is they would have gave him. He don't need it. Eye for eye. Against that undefeated girl, I don't know her name, but she looks soft compared to Amanda. I think Amanda beat her that fight and they robbed her. I can't remember. I know I watched the fight, but I can't really remember it right now. I was thinking about Serrano versus Katie Taylor too, which that fight Katie Taylor, clearly won it. But I think we all agree that Serrano's one of the best in the game, one of the best to ever do it. Gotta respect it, my people. She's all we have to do is look at the accomplishments. Everything that she's been able to do in boxing. Gotta give it to her. And that's what makes me think about Manny Pacquiao. Look at Manny Pacquiao, what he was able to do versus Mario Barrios in his 40s, in his late 40s, because my people's Manny Pacquiao is almost 50 years old. Almost 50. Come on now, he's been in a lot of wars. How is he going to be after he retired? How is his health going to be? We'll see. But it's tough when somebody's been in that many wars and taking that many shots to the dome piece. It's not easy. It's not easy. Especially when you lose in that type of fashion. Like we've seen Manny Pacquiao go to sleep brutally. Let me tell you somebody else who, in his case, he don't got that many losses, but he's taken some already 2 beatings. Your boy Edgar Berlanga, the ex-king of New York. Canelo Alvarez beat him up. Hamza Shiraz beat him up. Those are things that you don't consider. These beatings add up. If you see a fighter who got beat up 3-4 times, when he's fighting, he's not the same guy that he was when he was unbeaten. You can see it. You can see how those beatings affected him. So, do you want to wait for a fighter to be damaged to where there's no fixing it before you can say, yeah, we gotta call it a day? Let's leave it right there. That's it. I don't know. I think fighters have to understand when is the right time to go. When should I stop taking punishment because it's going to affect me? By the way, my peoples, I need to point something out. Because I've seen this earlier, and it was interesting. Apparently, Floyd Schofield or his dad, they saying they want to fight Abdullah Mason in 2026. I don't know if that's cap, because sometimes it seems like we've seen some capping going on in the Schofield camp, but they're acting like they want that smoke with Abdullah Mason. Berlanga needs to go back to the drawing board. Listen, man, Berlanga took those 2 beatings. I think that he's too overconfident and paid for it. Paid for it badly. Hamza Shiraz was over there talking about and beat the shit out of him. Aroma sound. The thing with brain trauma is the damage is already done by the time you see the long-term effects. It might already be too late. That's a fact. That's a fact. But we also have to look at this. If my damage is done, right, but no effects are showing, and I retire, and you're already stuttering, and you're already getting confused and showing signs, right, of that damage, and you still taking punishment, then in the long term, your damage is going to be worse than mine. Like, I might grow old and maybe just have a little stutter from it, and that's it. In your case, because you took more damage, you might end up not even being able to put a sentence together that people can understand you. You might be holding things in your hand all the time, because it happens to anybody. I could have this phone in my hand and be like, damn, where my phone at? That's happened to anybody. But that'll happen to you all the time and every day, that you don't know what the hell you got in your own hands. So I think, well, I know for a fact that you are right. There's people that damage starts to show up like decades after they retire. But the more you take, the more likely you're to suffer from something afterwards. Eye for eye. That's gotta be cap. He got to stand in line like Keyshawn Davis first. I gotta say, man, if they want to fight Abdullah Mason, y'all know Abdullah's about that smoke, and he's not gonna turn that down. He ain't turning that down, for sure. Side, like James Toney. You see, and James Toney, one of the best of his era. You see the accomplishments, you see the people that he was able to beat. But he not the same. Not the same. He don't talk the same. It's hard to understand him. At times it's hard. Side, Floyd left with his faculties intact. But Floyd had the style of boxing that allowed him to do that. Floyd didn't take a lot of punishment. The only mistake that Floyd has made is continue to do exhibitions after retiring. That makes you money. Makes you money. But health-wise, for the faculties, those exhibitions are not good. We see them as exhibitions and as fake and all of this stuff, but we don't understand, or people don't understand, because I do, that every single person who's done an exhibition with Floyd Mayweather is there to try to land some shots on the greatest ever. Is there to say, yo, I punched Floyd, or I beat Floyd. They just not good enough to beat him, right? But they're all there wishing that they could. And here's one thing that people just don't understand happens in those exhibitions. I want you to think about it. And if you go watch, you'll see. Floyd outboxes those guys easily every single exhibition, but every single one of them, he's ate one or two good punches. To the head, to the face. Bam, bam. Got mad, pop, 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 put the beats on him. But what you gotta understand, that's 46-year-old Floyd, 47-year-old Floyd, 48-year-old Floyd taking those 1-2 punches to the head in those exhibitions. No bueno, papi. We don't see those 1, 2, 3 punches that Floyd take because he make it look easy on those guys. He beat them up, dancing circles around them. So those 1, 2 punches, like they disappear. It's like they don't even exist. But guess what? When you've been in the ring 50 times and you took a lot of damage, you took some good punches throughout your career. It's not like you didn't eat nothing. And now you're in your late 40s still taking punches to your head, even though it's 1, 2, 3 punches. That could have an effect. That could have an effect on Floyd. Aroma sound. And James Toney was a defensive wizard too, in a way. Bro, that Philly shell, he had it down pat. The head movement, the slipping punches, he was a master with that. But as he went later into his career, that's it. He wasn't as mobile. Shaggy, happy Sunday, my guy. Let's talk boxing. Salute, my brother. Alphonic. Love the Serrano fight. Salute, my brother. What a showdown. What a showdown. That's why I tell people, when you say that women's boxing is boring, that you don't watch women's boxing, you really don't know what the hell you're talking about. Like, women are giving us the goods. And Amanda Serrano, every time she step in the ring, this is the type of fight that we're going to get. Now, I did say earlier, and during this show is the first time that I voiced that opinion, I think that Amanda Serrano should consider retiring. Because she's been in a lot of wars. If you think about it, the last couple of years in all her fights, she's looking like that at the end of it. Eyes swollen shut, you know, maybe cut, bleeding from somewhere. Like, she's taken some punishment during the last few years. So I don't want to see Serrano end up punch drunk, you know, stuttering, not even being able to put a sentence together. You're making good money. If you good financially, yo, get the hell out of there. My opinion. Side, he sparred a lot. That's what most of the damage was accumulated. Nah, but the fights too. The fights. Look how many fights. Listen, if you have a style of boxing where you trade leather, where you're explosive and you're going to fight with your opponents, if you take a lot of punishment, once you get past 40 fights, you're threading in dangerous waters. You've been taking punishment for a long time. Side, he sparred, yeah, a lot of, or most damage was accumulated. Alfonsi, women boxing, just not for betting. I mean, I think if you're a betting man, you could make some good money on women's boxing. Eye for eye. Dubois sisters, pretty damn nice. I think her Bumgarner be an explosive fight. And we're going to see it. They're already throwing shots at each other. So I say that fight is the inevitable. But, Bud got out the right time. Of course, man. That's why it's bittersweet. Because, yes, it's bitter. We wanted to see him fight more. But at the same time, Crawford is 38 years old, about to be 39. I'm not sure if he already turned 39 or if he's about to be. But why do you have to stay in boxing? Look at all the accomplishments. Already going down in history as one of the greatest of all time. And you have fans, you know, screaming, fight Benavidez, fight Usyk, fight, you know, fight the guys that we hope can beat you because we need you to lose badly. Retired undefeated. On top. At the top. You can't do it no better way. Daniel Negron. Some people say women boxing is boring, but we're getting knocked out by these boxers. But that's the thing. When you say women's boxing is boring, that means you're not a fan of boxing. You're a fan of a couple of knockout artists out there. And that's it. You're not a real fan of boxing. Because if you watch that fight yesterday, Amanda Serrano versus Reina Tellez, there's no way in hell you could tell me that women's boxing is boring. Irving Mack. Shields for the win. Ain't nobody messing with Clarissa Shields. Ain't nobody messing with Clarissa Shields. My people, hit that like button. I did say that yesterday. In 2026, we not ghost watching no more. In 2026, we hitting that like button for this fire boxing content. Aroma Sound. I think Amanda is just starting to get the level of popularity and paydays she always wanted. So she might be trying to enjoy it for a little longer. And that could maybe be the case. You know, if she want to get in 3, 4 more fights or 5 or whatever it is. But again, man, you know, chasing those bigger bags and chasing those other paydays, you know, you're risking your health. You risk your health every time you step in the ring. But once you got over 40 fights, you got that mileage in the system, you taking that punishment, it's never a good idea. You know, you're putting yourself in harm's way. I hope Amanda Serrano, you know, can retire like Terrence Crawford. And I mean, you're good, you're on top, you're not dealing with physical issues. You're not dealing with CTE and shit. Because again, look at the fights. That's all I'm saying. Look at the fights. Serrano, and that's just her style of boxing. As she's gotten older, she don't have the speed anymore. She don't have the head movement the same as before. And because of it, you see her taking a lot more punishment than what she used to. And by the way, my peoples, it's not just one fight. Lately, this is what Amanda Serrano fights she's been looking like after them. Aroma Sound, yeah, Terrence Crawford did it the right way. Did it the right way. They was see, that's the thing. When you're at the end, towards the end of your career, there's gonna be a time in boxing where they're gonna try to get you somebody bigger and stronger than you, so that they could force you to pass that torch. And that's what they try to do to Crawford. How you trying to force that man into fighting David Benavidez? Y'all think about that. So Crawford's like, nah, I'm out of here. I'm the greatest of this generation. I'm one of the greatest of all time. I'm out of here. So now you see Amanda Serrano in the tail end of her career. How much more is she gonna stick around? Eye for eye. I disagree. Amanda the shit in UFC cage. Her popularity has been up. I didn't even know Amanda Serrano does UFC. I have no idea anything about Amanda Serrano in UFC. Irvin Mack, the female fighters need to get paid now. I mean, there's already some of them getting paid. There's already some of them seeing some big paydays. So salute to the women that are stepping their game up and raising the bar for women's boxing. Sorry, nah, that's Holly Holm. Yeah, I think he's confusing Holly Holm, which she actually fought yesterday, by the way. MS, Holly Holm definitely needs to retire. Yeah, she needs to go. She needs to go. I know she wanted to give it a shot, wanted to come back. The thing about boxing, man, is that it's really hard to retire. I'm going to be honest with y'all, my people. It's hard to retire. Not just about the money. And I'm going to tell you why. Think about this. If I fight again, me, myself, I'm not going to make a lot of money. I'm not going to make a lot of money. Me, my people, listen. As a guy with a record of 0-1, if it's not somebody coming from the United States to fight me and they're going to give me 5,000 or something like that, if I'm fighting a local here, yeah, I'd be lucky to get $1,000. That's what I'm getting paid for that fight. And I'm telling you this to help you understand that if I fight again, obviously it's not going to be about the money because I ain't going to be making no money. It's going to be about, I want to get in the ring again. If I could get in the ring again, you know, I was trying to get the rematch with Homie, and he refused. Or I don't even know if he actually refused or if they didn't want to make it happen. I don't know. Couldn't get that rematch. But think about it. I'm 47 years old, my peoples. And if I can get somebody that's around my range, you're going to see me fighting again. It's hard to do it because there's not a lot of people in their mid-40s that's willing to climb in the ring. My first fight, my pro debut, I was 44 and I fought somebody who was 35. 9 years younger than me. I'm not doing that again. I'm not stepping in the ring with somebody that's almost 10 years younger. So if for me to fight, I may never fight again. I don't know. But for me to step in the ring, it has to be somebody that's going to be around my age. If you're not at least, look, I'm 47. If you're not at least 45, 44, 45, I'm not even considering it. That's it. Because I understand what Father Time does. We need to be at around the same speed, at around the same age, at around the same resistance. So it could be a fair fight. My peoples, but there you have it. That's my opinion on Amanda Serrano. You know, she's accomplishing. She continues to win, continues to show out. You know, she has a lot of fans, a lot of supporters. But how long can she keep it going? How long can she keep being involved in these type of fights where she end up looking like that? Because that's the one thing, my peoples. We see the fight, we enjoy them, but you don't understand the recovery process. It's a tough recovery process when you're involved in these type of fights. So Serrano's the winner. Now she's gonna recover. Let's see what's next. My peoples, the month of January kicked off with this card, and we're stacked. We're absolutely stacked for this month. We have a lot of fights that I'm sure you guys are looking forward to them, just like myself. And I'm going to talk about a few of those fights because I am excited about 2026, the way we're kicking this thing off, all these fights. Come on now. Come on now. Alfosek, you got Subriel? I'm going to get to that. I'm going to get to that. We got to talk about that. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. Here we go. The month of January, my peoples. Oh man, I got the wrong phone, man. Hold on. I'm trying to figure out which phone I got. I got the fights from January. Hold on, my people. I'm on it. I'm on it. You guys know. By the way, salute to everybody tuning in. Welcome to another episode of Boxing for Breakfast, where you get this healthy dosage of sweet science early in the morning. You guys know what this is about. I'm not looking for a damn screen recording. I'm looking for screenshots. Screenshots, where you at? The month of January, my peoples, is stacked. So, we kicked off the year 2026 with Amanda Serrano, right? What a great fight yesterday. What a great night of boxing. What a main event. We got the goods. Salute to Amanda Serrano. Congratulations on the win. Went to war with Reina Tellez. And congratulations to Reina Tellez, man. She was out there to win. Came up short, but put up a great fight. Look what we got. Wait. Hold on, man. Damn, yo, January stacked, my people. I'm looking at all these January fights and like, damn, it's really going down like that. So, here we go. I find it. You asked about it. We talking about it. Irvin Mack. Salute, my brother. Yo, so we got Subriel Matias and Liam Smith. That fight is going down. That's the next big fight that we got coming up. I want to say this. That fight is a little bit tough to predict because we know about Subriel Matias' power, right? We know what he does. But Liam Smith is the type of fighter who he carry power and he can box. And I think that Liam Smith might be the better boxer over here, my peoples. And we know Subriel Matias takes some punches now. Let's be honest. Subriel Matias is a guy that he take punishment. So it's tough to predict that fight. I'm gonna tell y'all right now. Predicting that fight is tough. I'm not even ready myself, like right now, just to make a prediction. Honestly, I'm not, my people. That's crazy. That is crazy. Not ready to make a prediction. Don't get it twisted now. Y'all know Jay Stradamus. Y'all know how I do it. But it's a tough prediction to make, y'all. Real tough. Real talk, my people. But don't put me on the spot without answering it yourself. Who you got? Who you got? Oh, I said the wrong name? Dalton Smith. Subriel Matias and Dalton Smith. That's a good fight. Daniel Negron, who has the better resume? Not Subriel got the better resume. Because Subriel already, if I'm not mistaken, Dalton Smith never been a world champion. This is his first title shot. Subriel Matias is already a two-time, or is it a two-time or three-time champion? So, eye for eye. Check out one of her fights, Jay. Amanda Serrano versus Heredita Ordóñez. I'm going to check it out. I think I may have seen it, but I'm going to check it out for sure. And appreciate you putting me on, my G. For sure, I'm going to check it out. So, Subriel Matias there, man. I'm trying to get this image. My peoples, I'm going to take a 30-second commercial break. Y'all know it's Sunday morning. Got to get my breakfast. We talking boxing. Be with you shortly. My peoples, we back in the building. Check it. Welcome to another episode of Boxing for Breakfast. You know what this is, man. You getting this healthy dosage of sweet science. Nice and early, Sunday morning. This is a special edition episode. Amanda Serrano showed out, my peoples. But don't get it twisted. Reina Tellez was out there doing her thing. You know, she didn't lose. You gotta respect a fighter who loses, but you can tell that they showed up to win. Reina Tellez was there to win that fight. She was competitive. She landed some big shots on Amanda Serrano throughout the fight. That left hook, she kept landing that left hook over Serrano's right hand, over that jab, bang, consistently. And that's why at the end of the fight, you saw the damage in Amanda's face. You saw she took some punishment. And that's why earlier I said it, and I maintained that. I think that Amanda Serrano should at least consider retiring. Because you see how her fights have been looking for the last couple of years. She's been taking punishment. She's been involved in wars. Come on now, my peoples. So I was talking about the month of January, right? Let me grab my other phone. Talking about the month of January, We got Subriel Matias, who's going to be facing Dalton Smith. That's a good, very competitive fight. Like I told you, before I make a prediction on Subriel Matias versus Dalton Smith, I got to consider some factors. So I will be making the prediction, but I'm not ready for that one yet. Remember, we're talking about the fights from January. We already got this one, which was a heck of a fight, heck of a main event. Matias versus Smith is going to be the same deal. Going to be similar to this. We're going to get fireworks from Subriel and Dalton. We have also, in January, Moses Italma versus Franklin. So Italma is back in action. We get to see him, continue to expand his resume and continue on that road to becoming a world champion. We also have Andy Cruz versus Murataya. Whoa, my peoples. That's a heck of a fight. Two undefeated fighters, two undefeated young lions. Murataya is a world champion. Andy Cruz is trying to take that from him. The reign of terror of Andy Cruz is about to go down. Mr. Tommy Gunn, salute, my brother. There's a huge buzz around Moses Italma in the UK. Listen, I've been trying to put people on. Based on his age, size, speed, strength, skills, Italma could be one of those heavyweights who can become a world champion and have a long reign. Unify titles, become undisputed, and hold it down for years. That's how good, that's how much talent I see in him. Mr. Tommy Gunn, J. Smith, he's seen as being the real deal. Now, I see him as the real deal. Moses Italma is the real deal. He's young, a little bit green, but I think if they're doing it the right way, which that's what it looks like, he's going to be a problem for a very long time. But in January, we also have another boogeyman in boxing. Another one of boxing's boogeyman. Bakram Murtasaliev. Bakram Murtasaliev versus Josh Kelly. Kelly can fight. There's people who told me that Kelly's going to beat Bakram. Going to be a good fight. Side, if he kills Franklin, then he's ready for the top dogs. I think he's going to knock him out, man. Moses Italma is just a special fighter. Frontline, Smith, Chat, Familia. Bam, salute, my brother. Boom. Noah Jimenez. Yo, good morning. Good morning, family. We're talking about these fights that are going down in January, my people. 2026 started off with a bang. We got Amanda Serrano, and you guys saw how that they went to war. Subriel Matias versus Dalton Smith. That's going down. Then we got Moses Italma versus Franklin. We're going to see Italma, show us his talent once again. Because to me, Moses Italma really emerged last year. To me, I didn't really know him like that. I didn't follow him like that. I heard the name. I seen some highlights. But last year is when I actually watched him. And that's when I realized, damn, that's a good fight. That's a real good fighter. This guy is the truth. When is the Dalton Smith fight? That is, I think, January 10th, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's next week. I don't have it in front of me, but I think that's next week, my brother. And I know it's taking forever because they announced it. They had announced it. And what slowed it down is with the situation with Subriel Matias popping dirty, then unpopping dirty, whatever the hell happened over there. So that kind of messed up the dates. But that's it. We getting that soon. I think it's next week. Frontline. Amanda gave us many good years of boxing. In my opinion, she needs to enjoy life. And I agree with you 100%, my brother. Amanda Serrano is someone who has accomplished a whole lot. One of the best ever to do it in women's boxing. Has made good money. I don't know how much money she got, how good are her finances. But if she's good, if Jake Paul really taking care of her like that, I think it's time to call it a day. That's it. Ride off into the sunset. Enjoy your life. Frontline. Next week, there you go. Yes, it's next week. Matias versus Smith. That's going to be a heck of a fight. I have not made a prediction because it's not an easy prediction to make. That's simple. Not an easy prediction to make. I'm telling you guys that right now. We're also getting Murataya versus Andy Cruz. Another heck of a fight going down. Two young, undefeated fighters in their prime, elite level. And Andy Cruz, you guys know he's trying to take that. He's trying to take that title from Murataya. Bakram Mortasaliev, Josh Kelly. I already told you guys, to me, Bakram Mortasaliev is one of the boogeymen in boxing. We're not seeing a lot of people wanting to fight Bakram. Keep it 100. A lot of people not saying I want that action with him. Trick Nolte, salute my brother. One of the best mums I've seen in a long time. Like Itama, but Jermaine Franklin is nothing to sneeze at. He is tough and can take a good shot. I have Moses winning, but he may have to go the distance. I still see Itama walking out of there with the stoppage, bro. It's just that he's special, man. I know that Franklin... Look, honestly, Franklin, I ain't never followed him like that. I've just seen short videos of him. But Itama, man, I think he's going to get the stoppage because he's just that type of fighter. He has that it factor. Shaggy, we all know Canelo would have lost to Monster David Benavidez and made the Crawford fight him is crazy. David will be the heavyweight champion in the future. What do you think? Honestly, I've never heard Benavidez expressed that he's going to end up going all the way to heavyweight. So it's hard for me to say that he'll become the heavyweight champion of the world, but it could happen. By the way, my peoples, I got my breakfast right here. Salute to everybody. Y'all know this is boxing for breakfast. So I'm going to have my breakfast. If you're having your breakfast, enjoy it. So again, I left off Bakram Mortasaliev and Josh Kelly. They're going to be fighting again in the month of January. This is the type of month that we got going on. What a way to kick off 2026. We're also going to get Xander Sayas. Xander Sayas already trying to unify titles, my people. He's not playing around. Puerto Rico is not playing around. So Amanda Serrano and now Xander trying to unify titles. Now watch this. We're saying that the month of January, frontline, buen provecho, gracias, manito. We're saying that the month of January is stacked. But December 31st is stacked. Look at December 31st. Xander Sayas. December 31st. Carlos Adames versus William. He's going to be defending his WBC title. Also January 31st. Shushu Carrington versus Castro. Also January 31st. Keyshawn Davis versus Jermaine Ortiz. And of course, to cap off January 31st, Teofimo Lopez versus Shakur Stevenson. Golly, what a day. I'm going to have to be ready. I don't want to lose my voice. I'm going to try not to lose my voice on January 31st. It's going to be insane. Luis Pimentel Blessings in the new year. Puerto Rico, let's go. Salute, my brother. Yo, Puerto Rico's going hard. You guys had Amanda Serrano be involved in another great fight. You guys got Subriel Matias coming up. He's going to be fighting. Come on now. Subriel, Puerto Rico showing up. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, also got Shakur Stevenson at the end of the month. Eye for eye, David Benavidez versus the heavyweight champion of the world. That's not an easy win. I mean, I don't know if Benavidez is ever gonna fight in that division. That's why it's hard for me to. This is crazy, my peoples. I gotta show you this. Look at this waffle sandwich. Y'all see that? Golly. That's what I call a waffle sandwich. Holy moly. Oh, shit. Over here dropping stuff all over the place. Frontline, Shakur beats Tio, UD. He's going to frustrate Tio for 12 rounds. Look. Here's part of what makes it... Apruébalo. Sí, yo no sé, apruébalo. Here's part of what makes it such an interesting fight. A lot of people are saying Shakur is going to make it look easy. A lot of people are saying Teofimo's going to knock him out. Yo, Sai, fat is an understatement, bro. Like, I can't even, like, you got to take it by little pieces. I'm trying to find a way, bro. Look. Look at this.
Uh-oh.
I'm trying to do it. Ah, está tirando el huevo. Legitness. I see you guys talking about Jai Opataya. Here another one that's a problem. They not in the same division. But Jai Opataya and Moses Itauma, they seem to both be on that same trajectory. Like they're gonna be a force that's gonna be hard to deal with. And those are two fighters right there that you can see that they're gonna become world champions. Side, if David runs over Zurdo, I might have to rethink that though. Zurdo in his last couple, look at his shit, bro. Zurdo in his last couple of fights, he's been looking real slow, my guy. Real slow. So I don't know. I don't know that Zurdo can hang with the Mexican. Difference in speed, I think David Benavidez is going to beat him up. Beat him up. I'm just being honest with y'all. Holy shit. I'm not even going to be able to eat half of that motherfucker. God damn. Motherfucker. Eye for eye. I got Shakur Stevenson winning. He's not going to go for that electric. Listen, Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez is going to be a very competitive fight. I know who's going to win. I'm not saying it because I'm making the prediction on Box Center 2.0. But I know who's going to win that fight. I will say it's going to be competitive, though. It's going to be a good, fun fight to watch. Side, that sandwich is unprecedented. Bro, when I thought about a waffle sandwich, I thought it was going to be a regular waffle. Yo, the waffle like this fat. And then they put like that much ingredients inside too. You can't even, you got to squeeze it to actually, well, I'm not going to say that. That shit was going to sound gay as hell. No diddy. Just thinking it. But it's big. Wally Ahmad, Jay, what up, bro? Boxing for breakfast. Salute, my brother. Appreciate you dropping in. We talking about the month of January, man. We got a lot of big fights this month. Started off already with Amanda Serrano doing her thing. And it's going to end up with Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez. Lots of big fights in between. Eye for eye. I got Shakur Stevenson winning. I don't feel like he's going to fall. Okay, I read that. Side. I'm trying to tell you, man, this thing... You can't even, this is the type of sandwich that you can't even keep talking about it because it sounds weird. Think about it. If somebody's in the next room hearing me, yo, man, this is big as hell. It don't fit in my mouth. What that shit sound like? No diddy. Bro. I think this is one of the few times that you would tell them, put a little bit less ingredients in that shit. God damn. That's a lot. I don't even stand a chance of finishing it. I don't stand a chance of eating half. Half. Wally Ahmad, Jake, Keyshawn isn't with Bomac anymore. And he's talking about moving up to 147 after this fight. Don't look good. Look, I don't know if maybe him and Shakur don't want to be in the same division just so that they can pursue all of the titles. Because obviously if they're both at 140, what are we going to do? Share titles? You get those two and I get these two? So I think at 147, he's able to operate more freely. They're not, gunning for the same opponents, gunning for the same guys. It could be about that. I don't know. Or could Keyshawn be feeling like it's tough to even make that 140 and decided, you know what, I'm going to be better off at 147. So I don't know what's behind that. I honestly don't. But it seems like that decision may have already been made. Yo, listen. Eye for eye. If I finish this sandwich, bro, I'm going to be like at 168. Be ready to face Canelo in them. Wally Ahmad. But Jay, 147 got some killers up there. Why leave Bomac? I mean, you're right, 147 got some killers. But Keyshawn Davis is a killer too. And he's about that life. So I would say he's betting on himself. You never want to see a fighter leave a great coach. Maybe. Because here's the deal. when you're at the level of Keyshawn Davis, you may want to have a coach that's more exclusive to you. You may not want to have a coach who has other big athletes that he's spending a lot of time with, or that you might have to share training camps with while he's working with other athletes. It could be that too. Because look at Shakur. Shakur work out with Bud and with other fighters. That's with Bomac. But Shakur got his own coach. His coach. So I think maybe Keyshawn wants that too. Maybe he wants to have his coach that's not putting that type of energy on multiple fighters. Side, I want to see Hitchens versus Russell. I'm going to tell you what. I want to see any of the names versus Gary Antoine Russell. Any of them. They're all good, real good fights. I thought that we was going to get Teofimo Lopez versus Gary Antoine Russell for some time there. But Teo versus Shakur, been wanted that fight. Eye for eye. They made a vow not to fight each other. They said brotherhood runs deeper than a bat, to be continued. You know, it's crazy because you see the hate that they get for not fighting each other, right? And I said this before. Instead of hating on them, people should actually show them love and commend them. You know why? Because what Shakur and Keyshawn is showing us is that there's still people out there who will put a good relationship over money any day. One thing that clearly Shakur understands is not a lot of real friends out there. There's not a lot of real people out there that's really rocking with you, that's really your people like that. Everybody is your friend when things is going well. Everybody's cool. But when you need somebody, everybody's not going to be there. So the fact that Shakur and Keyshawn, they not willing to sell their friendship, that says a lot about them and their character. These are young men who have character. While we live in the social media era where everybody's saying 50 million, 100 million, get the most money. Everybody's like the greediest. These guys are saying, nah, we don't need to. We already make millions. We already making money. We don't need to fight for money. Our friendship is not for sale. That shit is to be respected, if anything. And not just is to be respected, but also you never know if down the line in the future, they could decide to fight each other. After they both already accomplished a lot of things and did what they wanted to do in their late 30s at the end of their career, yo, let's get this bag real quick. Let's get this fight in for the fans and let's do it. But now at the end of their career, when they're about to retire, they could get that fight in, make that money, and still be good with each other. But if they fight right now, that could end their relationship going forward. And they might never be the same again. So I'm with it. I respect it 100%. That's why, just like anyone else, of course, if they fight each other, I'd love to see it. But you're never going to see me calling for that fight. If they already told me that they don't want to fight each other, I think it's goofy as hell for me to be out there trying to call for that fight. I respect it. I respect and understand their decision. And I even commend it. Because again, Shakur and Keyshawn, they could make a lot of money fighting each other. Mega fight. And they're like, nah. Remember that saying? And I say it during the show all the time. All money is not good money. That's the thing. People think, get as much money as you can. All money is not good money, my peoples. Eye for eye. Do anybody remember when John Jones and his mentor said the same thing? Honestly, because I don't follow MMA like that, that's not something that I would even be aware of. What are my facts? It's sad to see the interview when the Charlo said they'll fight each other for the right price. That's like, you don't give a damn about nothing, not even your own blood, your own brother, your own blood. Listen, if you don't have a filter for the things you're willing to do for money, eventually you're going to do some fucked up shit for money that'll come back to bite you. Eventually an opportunity to do something fucked up for money will show up, and you'll take it because, hey, anything for the money. Why do you think that you see celebrities get busted doing fraud all the time? Because these people are making good money, but they want more money. And somebody shows up with a fraud opportunity that we're going to get away with, nobody's going to know. And then they get busted. Side, like them OnlyFans models that want to settle down and have kids. The past going to haunt them. See, that's the thing. There are women who understand what they're getting into. I see women in interviews say, I'm not going to have kids because I've been doing OnlyFans for whatever amount of time, and I wouldn't want to put kids through that, having to see them. I'm not having kids. But then there's the women that decide, I'm going to change my life around, and I'm going to, do the family thing, the kids, all that. And then they have to deal. You see, the consequences of OnlyFans, we're not really seeing it yet. And you know why I tell you that? Because OnlyFans is relatively new. It's a relatively new platform, right? It hasn't been around like Facebook, Instagram, and all of that. So because of that, a lot of the OnlyFans models, they either don't have kids or they have kids, but their kids are small. The kids are 1 year old, 2 year old, 3 year old. Not a lot of OnlyFans models have a big son or a big daughter because OnlyFans hasn't been around that long itself. But when you're really gonna see the effects of OnlyFans, it's gonna be 5, 10 years down the line, when these kids start growing up and now they start getting bullied. Now they start getting into fights in high school. Now all of that stuff starts happening. But that's just the reality. The actions from today can and will affect you tomorrow. Luis Pimentel, I think there's something more with Stevenson and his boy. I respect it in your I respect it and you're making sense. But you know what would happen if everyone decided not to fight their friend or relative. So I'm gonna tell you why it doesn't work that way, right? Think about all of the fighters who known each other and then ended up sharing the ring. My first example, I'll say Terrence Crawford, Sean Porter, right? They sparred before, they know each other, they were cordial, and then they ended up fighting. But what is the difference? We could never say that Sean Porter and Terrence Crawford had the same type of relationship that Shakur Stevenson and Keyshawn Davis had. They had a relationship within boxing. We spar together, we work out together. It's not the same as when you have a relationship where we actually hang out together. We hang out in each other's family house. We know each other's moms. So we're never gonna see that type of relationship with boxers ever. You know, this is an isolated case. Most boxers, they'll be able to say what's up to each other after the fights. But how often do you see two fighters that have that type of relationship? You don't. So we're not going to see a scenario where, well, nobody's going to fight nobody because they're all getting along. This is an isolated case. And it's like I say, you know, they have a friendship that they're not going to sell it for money. I respect that. You're not willing to sell that. No amount of money is going to make you say, nah, F it, we fighting. Nah. I appreciate that. Eye for eye. Quick history, Jay. Rashid Evans was UFC champion. Dana asked him to mentor John Jones. Evans agreed. As long as they never fought in the end, John Jones decapitates Rashid Evans. Rashid broke his vow and lost. Whoa, I didn't know all of that. Didn't know all of that. Scott Fernie. Good morning, boxing hands. Salute, Scott. Bam. Alfonsi. Subriel. Yo, Subriel Matias Dalton Smith. That's going to be a heck of a fight. That's going to be it's going to be competitive. I told everybody. I haven't even been able to make a prediction. Sai, Ben, Keyshawn, Deb, Ryan, Rolly, and T.O. moving up after he loses to Shakur. 147 gonna be stacked. 147 is gonna be that division. But 140, look, right now, and it's been the case for quite some time because of the young talent, between 135 and 147 have been the divisions. We know that now 154 became also the division. Not that many big names at 160. So I say between 135 and 154, it's crazy right now. Crazy, crazy. Wally Ahmad, Jay, if you was Abdullah Mason's manager, how long will you wait before you and Abdullah start to go after the big fish? That's a good question. That's a real good question. Look, this is what I'm going to consider to give you an honest and educated answer. And you can see how I process the information, right? Abdullah Mason, the first thing that I'm looking at right now is Abdullah Mason's age. He's 21 years old. Now, at 21 years old, I don't want Abdullah to unify a bunch of titles. Because if he does that, now he's going to have to be consistently either defending or in big fights from early on. And he could be burned out by the time he's 30 years old. I don't want that to happen because I see Abdullah Mason as a generational talent who can be one of the best of the era, right? So I would give Abdullah, he's only 21, at least 2 years of defending his strap. 2 years. Get him to 23 years old. Defending. He's going to be fighting highly ranked opponents. He's going to be fighting good opponents. Keep him fighting good opponents. But I don't think it's the best decision to try to get him to unify early on, because once you become a unified champion, now you have more mandatories headed your way. More big fights, hard fights that you have to face headed your way. And even if you win those fights, you could get burned out. We saw Abdullah Mason involved in a very, very tough fight versus Sam Noakes. And in that fight, Abdullah showed us that he's a special fighter. He has somebody who was not going to go down, who was not going to go away, who was not going to back down in Sam Noakes. And Abdullah was able to rise above that, step up his game, do what he's never done before to get that W. That's what the great ones do when that moment comes. He did it. But after a fight like that, you don't go directly into another fight like that. And I'm expecting, because Abdullah's a very good, great fighter. He got a great team. I'm expecting for us to see Abdullah use his footwork a lot more in his very next fight. I wouldn't expect him to be involved in a slugfest, bam, 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 after the fight that he was involved in with Sam Noakes. We're going to see that footwork. We're going to see that ring IQ. But ultimately, I feel like they should wait at least, and that's the minimum, 2 years. Defend, get that experience in there. And then eventually, when the time is right, pull the trigger on those big fights. Eye for eye. The big fish, as in any fighter, or the big fish, as in Earl. Scott Fernie. Mason already a world champion. He ready now. In the elite level, the best fight the best, like the nationals, amateurs. Okay, brother, but he's the world champion in one sanctioning body. He can fight the best within that sanctioning body. He can. Brother, what I'm telling you, we see it all the time. We see fighters all the time get a title and defend it a bunch of times before moving on to fighting for other titles. You have to look at the age factor. It's not it sounds simple, Scott Fernie, the best fight the best, and that's it. But it's not that simple, my guy. Remember, the question was, if I'm his manager, how am I doing it? If you're the manager, so Scott Fernie, let me show you. Let's say you're the manager of a fighter who is an elite level young talent. And I'm also a manager of a fighter who's also that talent. So we both are managers of a fighter who's expected to become a world champion, right? Okay, now, my guy becomes a champion at 21. Your guy becomes a champion at 21, right? Good. Now, after your guy became a champion, you went after a unification. You guys won the unification. You went after another unification. Now you got 3 of the belts. At 23 years old, your guy take his first L. He was trying to become undisputed. Boom, he take his first L. But he can fight. He's good. So, boom, he wins another title. And keeps fighting, bam, 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 defended a bunch of times. Then he loses it, but then wins it again. Wins another title in the next division. Now, while your fighter's been going through all of that, my fighter won the title at 21 years old, held it for a couple of years, had 3 defenses this year, 4 defenses the following year, so he's active and defending. And after your fighter got beat, one of those titles he lost, I beat the guy that beat him. Boom. And now I got 2 titles. I haven't taken an L yet. But I beat one of the guys that beat your guy. So what I'm trying to show you if I'm careful and smart with my matchmaking with my fighter, and you just saying the best gotta fight the best, bro, your guy's gonna be burned out by the time he's 30. And by the time my guy's 30, he's still gonna be undefeated. He's not gonna be a world champion in the second division. And your guy might already be out of boxing, or already might be broken down into a gatekeeper. He already getting pummeled out there. Why? Because early on, you was already giving him all the big fights. Bang, bang, bang. By the time he's 30, he already wore out. All them big fights wore him out. Scott Fernie, I should have turned promotion at 18, but then turned until 28, 10 years late. I would have never turned down no fights. But it's not really about turning down fights, because you also have to understand that it's even going to be offered, right? You have to, for you to turn down fights, it means that you have a certain status that allows you to turn down fights. That's the thing. If you're a nobody, right? And I'm just putting it, assuming that let's say you didn't become a big star. If you're a nobody, you're not in a position to turn down fights. Everybody accepts them, my brother, because they looking for the payday. They looking for the money. So even the people that know they're going to get their ass whooped, they not turning fights down. They not. Why? Because you're going to make money. And that's what, it's a business. At the end of the day, it's a business. If you're turning fights down, that's because you're already established. You can afford to turn it down. You can afford to say, nah, I'm good. I don't want that. Sai Abdullah Mason versus De Los Santos should be next. De Los Santos missed out on his title shot because Keyshawn missed weight. Honestly, when Keyshawn Davis didn't make weight, that's what I thought was going to happen. I thought it was going to be Edwin De Los Santos versus Abdullah Mason for that vacant title. And you see, it just couldn't happen. Luis Pimentel, you know, I'm 47. I stopped watching boxing for a while, but lately there's been some great fights. We back 2026, great year for boxing. Luis Pimentel, I'm going to tell you something funny. You're at least the 10th person to say that to me. Last year, I'm counting last year, in 2025, a bunch of people told me, yo, Jay, I wasn't even watching boxing since Floyd left. Since Floyd left, I haven't been excited about boxing. But boxing is back, bro. I seen a few of your videos, started tuning in. Boxing is on fire, bro. So that, imagine, look, the month of January, the way we kicked this thing off, all these fights that we got in January. Look, let me give you and by the way, salute to everybody tuning in. Y'all know what this is. Special edition episode of Boxing for Breakfast. Sunday morning. Y'all addicted to boxing. You talking boxing this early in the morning on a Sunday, you need help. And I'm giving you the help you need with Boxing for Breakfast. My peoples, the month of January is looking just too sweet. First of all, we got Amanda Serrano versus Reina Tellez. That was a war. You guys know that. We're going to get next Subriel Matias versus Dalton Smith. We're going to get Moses Itama versus Franklin. We're going to get Murataya versus Andy Cruz. Mortaz Aliyev versus Josh Kelly. Xander Sayas is back in the building trying to unify titles. Carlos Adames defending his 160 WBC title. Shushu Carrington stepping in the ring with Castro. Keyshawn Davis versus Jermaine Ortiz is going down as the co-main event to Teofimo Lopez versus Shakur Stevenson. My people's January is crazy. It's crazy. Keep it 100. Golly. Eye for eye. Long as Abdullah Mason don't sit in that division too long, because the world will turn on him just like they did Tank. See, you have to understand. There's a difference, and it's not comparable. I'm going to tell you why. Tank Davis got to 135 when he was 25 years old. And his last fight in that division was when he was 30. He was there for 5 years. And told this to people before. Tank was struggling to make 135, and people just couldn't process that. Think about how much your body weighed when you were 25 versus how much your body weighed when you was 30. Tank Davis's frame at 25 years old is not the same frame at 30, but he's still making the same weight. While all these guys who are even younger than him been moving up between 25 and 30, Tank been stuck in the same division. It's not the same with Abdullah Mason. He just moved up at 21 years old. Abdullah can literally be there in that division till 25, 26. He can be there for a lot more years than Tank because he got there when he was a lot younger. And I'm going to tell you this. Tank didn't really catch flack like that for not moving up in weight. He caught flack like that because he didn't fight the guys that people want to see him fight. And now they saw them move up in weight, and Tank stayed there to kind of like stay away from them. Or at least that's how people took it. It wasn't about him not moving up. It was about him not fighting those guys who already moved up. So I hit the like button. My people's in 2026, we not ghost watching anymore, man. I've been at it for 2 hours, not even 30 likes. Golly. We're going to start hitting that like button in 2026. Come on, man. Tunnel vision. No, he can't. He already had to wait in naked twice to make weight. That man has 2 years tops. Who are you talking about? Abdullah Mason? But if you're talking about Abdullah Mason, bro, he just, like, this guy is 21 years old. He just turned 21. He a young kid. At that age, you can stay in the same weight for years. My peoples, I'm about to end this show. Want to give everybody a shout out for tuning in this beautiful Sunday morning. Tunnel vision, yeah, Abdullah, he's young, but he's big. It's like I told you, when you young, you can do it. At 21 years old, if he wanna, I'm telling you, at 21, if he wanna stay in that division for 3-4 more years, he's gonna be able to do it. It's gonna be up to them. My people, salute to everybody tuning in to this episode of Boxing for Breakfast. I hope you guys enjoyed it. You know how we get down. Monday, Boxing for Breakfast is going down 6:30 a.m. Eastern Time. West Dustin, salute, my brother. You already know what it is. I'm going to see you guys tomorrow. Good live today. Appreciate it, bro. Salute to West Dustin. Salute to Tunnel Vision, Wally Ahmad, Sai, Alpha Luis Pimentel, Scott Fernie, and everybody else who tuned in. Y'all already know what this is, man. Boxing for Breakfast. I'm Jay Smith. I'm getting the hell out of here. Make sure you enjoy your Sunday, my peoples. Enjoy your family. Spend some time with your family. I'll see you guys tomorrow, man. Peace.